Off work. No better feeling on a Wednesday or any day. Work is the last bit of slavery left in this country, isn't it? No, there's more than that, but today I want to talk to you guys about being an empath and having boundaries. And this can apply to anyone, even if you're not an empath. Most people have some sort of empathetic nature to them, and a lot of people have trouble with boundaries, especially with family members. Family members is the big one, because we grow up in a system where mom and dad, or whoever raised you, is ultimately the boss, right? And whatever they say goes. And a lot of us have trouble as we age out of the home with, especially if those parents were abusive or over-the-top aggressive or over-the-top military style parenting. We have trouble understanding that we're actually in control of our lives now, right? And that we want to do whatever it is that they tell us to do because that's what we've always done. But that's not the appropriate way of handling yourself, because if you are in a situation where an abuser is present and having control over your life, you're letting yourself be abused over and over and over again, which is a type of self-abuse. So, how do we establish boundaries, you ask?
Oh, how'd you know what I was thinking, man?
That's because I'm you, holding the phone at a different angle. Whoa, deep. Anyway, establishing a boundary does not mean that you have permission to be an asshole, okay? It does not mean that whatever you say goes. That's not what it means at all. What it means is, say you have a parent or a relative or a significant other or just any person in your life that knows you don't like cheese. Let's say that. I don't know what kind of monster wouldn't like cheese. You horrid person. Just kidding. I love you. Say you didn't like cheese, and this person came in every single day and slapped some cheese on your desk. Strange example, I know, but I'm trying to make it simple to understand the concepts here. They slap the cheese on your desk every morning, and you allow it, or you simply say, please don't do that anymore, but you're too weak, and they continue to do it anyway. Now, in this situation, it may be difficult to have this solved, but one thing you can do is inform your boss that every morning this is happening and it's bothering you. But before you do that, you have to go to the person, very stern with yourself, and say to them, hey, I do not accept cheese in my life. Cheese is not something that I will tolerate. Cheese is not something that I will have on my desk every morning. And if cheese continues to be on my desk every morning, I'm going to have to stand up for myself in some form or fashion. So that example is a little weird, I understand. But it's the same thing, the same principle as to what you may be facing in your life. You have a significant other who comes home every single day and starts telling you what to do. During that whole day, you've been alone, doing what you know you want to do and what you feel that you ought to do and what's right for you. But as soon as they come in the door, they're controlling every single thing that you're doing. And you feel, well, this isn't right. I can't do this anymore. Well, you didn't set yourself a boundary. Now, the problem with boundaries is sometimes those boundaries can cause us to lose the relationships that we value at the time. But after you lose that relationship, I can promise you the value goes upside down, just like driving a car off the car lot. You will realize that you weren't valuing yourself at all, and they certainly weren't valuing you. So when you made the boundary, they establish, okay, I definitely don't value you, so we're done, or something similar. So if you have a parent who's always controlling you, telling you what you should do and what you should not do, and it's more than just parental advice, and it's actually control, this might hurt a bit. But you are going to have to find a way to either sever ties with that person or always establish your boundary. No, I'm sorry, you don't talk to me like this. I'm a person. I'm a valuable human being. Or, you're not going to tell me what to do. I love you and I appreciate you, significant person in my life. But that's not what I'm going to do. And sometimes it feels like we're whenever we establish boundaries. But that comes from a systematic abuse in your life and being put down by the man or the woman or anything. It's just part of your abuse and part of what's happened to you and part of what you've learned, and you've developed defense skills that keep you safe and alive, but they don't keep you happy. So there's a difference between survival and self-love. Sometimes it's important to also remember that we have to establish boundaries for our own selves. Say that you look in the mirror in the morning and you tell yourself, "Oh, you're so horrible, I hate you, I hate the way you look, because you're fat," or something, right? Whatever it is, we all have something we don't like. Well, maybe the boundary for that self-love situation would then be, first off, to not think about yourself that way, because you should not be abusing my friend like that. You're my friend, and I don't like it when you abuse you. I really don't. I hate it. Or you can establish a boundary that keeps you healthy. Say, not to have a cheeseburger at 9 o'clock at night. That's a boundary. That's self-love boundaries. So you have boundaries in your life. I do not accept this from you, and I never will accept this from you, which causes a lot of loss of relationships. But then you also have yourself. I will not accept this from myself. Be still, I will not accept this from you. And you have to be firm with it and continue to do it every day. Never, ever, ever let your boundaries dissolve, because once the boundary dissolves, that dissolution may be permanent, or at least very difficult to get back again. So when you establish a boundary, keep it. Set boundaries for yourself in your life that keep you happy, healthy, and safe. And make sure that you're not a jerk about it, because there can be a situation where that happens. I hope this has helped you. Make sure this week to establish one nice boundary for yourself and just let it go, let it fly. See how it happens, see how it goes. I'm sorry if it causes trouble in your life, but that's something you shouldn't have anyway. So try it out. And as always, be still.